What's up guys? In this video we're going to be taking my Gibson custom shop made to measure Les Paul here and comparing its stock Custombuckers versus a pair of boutique PAF clones, in this case from Righteous Sounds. You can see the specs of the pickups there. I've had these since about December, just waiting to be installed, so I'm super excited. For the comparison, I'm going to be playing a number of different styles through a wide range of tones, from clean to mean, a bunch of different amp types to cover as many bases as I can. I will place the excerpts of the stock pickups versus the RAFs side by side, so there's no gap in between and you can really get an honest sense of the differences. In addition, I'll be reusing the same exact pair of strings, so it's super even, and I'll have the pickups roughly the same height. Be sure to reference the timestamps I have laid out so you can jump to the exact section of the video you were interested in. Alright, before we get to the playing, I want to really quickly cover why I'm doing this in the first place. To be honest, this is just as much for me as it is for you guys. I am super curious. I have never swapped any of the pickups in any of my guitars here. Quite frankly, they all sound amazing and I've never really felt the need to. And this guitar is no exception to that. I think it's an amazing sounding Les Paul. It's got so much character to it. I think it covers so many bases, from clean to super aggressive stuff. It does fantastic. I love this guitar. So then you're asking, why are you changing the pickups? Well, there's a couple really small reasons apart from my curiosity. The first is cosmetic. I know it's going to sound crazy, but I'll show you what I mean. This guitar is a made-to-measure Les Paul, and it was spec'd out from the factory to be lightly aged with checking on it. It's similar to the Gibson Custom Shop VOS finish, except for it has checking on it to make it a little bit more interesting, and a little bit of dings and stuff here and there, nothing too big. Now, if you're not familiar with Gibson VOS finishes, they dull all the hardware to make it look old, and the pickup covers are also included in that. And if you look carefully, you can actually see that I've worn away most of this right here on the bridge pickup. See if I can get it on camera to show you guys. So there you can see just at the top of the pickup there, it is shiny looking, whereas the rest of the pickup is pretty dull. And that's what I'm talking about. The pickup is slowly becoming shiny. It's the opposite of aging. The more I play it, the shinier and newer it looks. It's kind of funny. Reason number two is this guitar's pickups are a little unbalanced. And what I mean by that is I have the neck pickup dropped as low as it'll go, and I have the bridge pickup raised about as high as it'll go. Despite that, there's still a little bit of a volume difference between the bridge and the neck, with the neck being a little bit louder and the bridge being a little bit quieter. The bridge pickup, I would say, is a little pokey and a little bit on the thinner side. I keep the tone control on 10 most of the time, so it's not too much, but it definitely leans a little bit thinner. The neck pickup is actually pretty good. I really like this neck pickup. It still suffers from what most people complain about with neck humbuckers. It's a little undefined on the wound strings here, and it's a little too high output. It doesn't have quite as much clarity as I would like. However, I would say this is a better neck pickup than most. And finally, for the middle position, this is kind of one of the things I'm really hoping improves with the new pickups. The middle position is not nearly as chimey as I would like. I love the middle position on all of my guitars. Honestly, it's one of my most used positions when I'm playing, and I love how it's always that really bright, chimey sound, no matter what type of guitar it is. My ES345 is by far the brightest in the middle position, and I kind of wish this guitar was similar. So we'll see if that improves with the new pickups. All right, let's hear them side by side. Alright guys, there you have it. Both pickups compared side by side through a variety of situations. Now before I go any further, go ahead and type up what you heard in the comments below. Did you have a clear preference or did it vary? Did you prefer one set clean, one set gain, or was it more on a case-by-case basis? There's no wrong answer, let me know what you thought. As for me, I think the differences were definitely noticeable in the majority of the excerpts, but it did vary, with some cases being more obvious and others being more subtle. No matter what your preferences are, I think you'll agree the guitar sounded really good in all the samples. The Custombuckers are great pickups, and I would have been totally fine keeping them in the guitar. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, I had a few goals I was hoping the swap would accomplish. I wanted a better balance between the pickup positions, I wanted a chimier middle position, and finally, more clarity and less bloat in the neck. As far as two of those goals are concerned, mission accomplished. The neck definitely has more clarity and less low-end tubbiness, and the middle was quite a bit more sparkly. Now when it comes to balance, the RAFs suffered from a similar issue as the Custombuckers, with the bridge coming across quieter than the neck in the middle, and the bridge is about as high as it can go. I can lower the neck a little bit more, and I'll experiment with that further down the line, but I think there's always going to be a little bit of an imbalance there. So beyond that, what else did I notice? Well, all three positions are definitely lower output across the board versus stock, pushing the amps less and giving a cleaner, quieter tone at the same exact amp settings. It also seemed like the RAFs in general sound less congested. All positions were clearer top to bottom, while the Custombuckers had more weight to the sound because of the added lower mids. In isolation, I could totally see people preferring the Custombuckers and thinking the RAFs are a little bit harsh, especially if you tend to prefer darker tones. However, it's worth noting a 50s burst is often described as a telly on steroids due to their clarity and punch. If you watch videos demoing vintage Les Pauls, you'll notice they're actually pretty bright and really aggressive in the top end, especially on the bridge. I was actually watching a video last night of Joe Bonamassa, and he was saying his starting point on a burst is the tone control on 5 to help tame the brightness. Either way, I think the RAFs do a really good job of capturing that sort of aggression and presence you hear in those vintage guitars. It's not for everyone or every style of music, but I bet in a mix the RAFs would slice through really well. Also, it's worth noting the amp tones were selected to be pretty neutral, but obviously I had the Custombuckers tone in mind since that's all I was familiar with. I did not adjust anything after swapping to the RAFs, but keep in mind it's often easier to fatten your tone up with EQ than it is to thin it out. Finally, one thing I was really curious about was whether the non-wax potted RAFs would start squealing or have any issues under high gain. I didn't have any squeal come through, no issues. But granted, I didn't have a blasting amp right next to me, so I'll have to see how they perform live when that time finally returns. So is it worth it to swap pickups? Well, it depends on the guitar you're starting with and what you want to achieve. If you've got a high-end Les Paul, I think the Custombuckers are really a great set of pickups. However, if you're chasing the last few percentage points or are just a tone nerd gearhead like me, give it a go. Swapping pickups is quick and easy, and hopefully, as evidenced by this video, can definitely noticeably change the tone of your guitar. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, drop a comment on what your impressions were and let me know what you thought. If you guys liked the video and want to support me for putting this sort of content together, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. That really helps me out. Alright guys, until next time, see ya.